Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have. Crypto belongs to Wall Street. Stop the crypto ban and Elizabeth Warren. Stuart Alderoty, the chief legal officer, strikes again. You're going to love it. And you're also going to love Ripple's recent acquisition of Metaco and the largest bank in Germany. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, it is $2.59 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 3%. 66,200 plus for Bitcoin, 3,700 plus for Ethereum, 100 plus billion dollar market cap for Tether. XRP at the number 7 spot at 59 cents now. We're off by 6.9%. And I think we all understand that there is a pullback after the strong push we saw across the entire market right now. Very natural, it appears to me. Range of price right here is between 56 cents on the bottom and 64 on the top, almost a 10-cent swing. So you know XRP has been moving really around a lot lately, right? Usually it's about a penny spread at the most, right? Sometimes 2 cents. But so you see, it has been moving quite a bit. This is not shocking to me. I know technical analysts, we covered it in this morning's video, said this is a classic back test, as they call it. So we'll have to pay attention to this. Just keep an eye on where it goes. But I tell you what, I bought XRP. Yes, I did. I'm not telling you to. I'm just telling you what I did. And yesterday, I actually did some consolidating in my portfolio, and I just bulldozed it all right into XRP. And I'm super bullish on lots of projects in this space. But this is something I do occasionally where I accumulate in many different areas. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I need to be all here, right? And then I consolidate everything into a couple small piles, which is what I did yesterday. Feeling good about it. Now I'll start, because what happens is, and then by default, I go, wait a minute, I need to be in this and this and this and this again, and then I'll start reaccumulating in those positions again, which will be easier because a lot of those are very inexpensive early projects. So very excited about where we're going. Let's get into this. We start right here. These multi-billion-dollar banks are joining the Bitcoin fray as price breaks 67,000. Now we know we're in a back test, but you can see this is getting massive attention. The other banks in the world want to have access to this space and this new products. Vanguard's anti-Bitcoin CEO, as we reported, is set to retire as major banks being offered spot Bitcoin ETFs to clients, as we just shared. And then we know here that also institutions can't get enough of the crypto as the trading volume hits a new $30 billion record. Chad Steingraber shows us here that congratulations on panic selling into BlackRock yesterday, Bitcoin people. IBIT absorbed almost the entire drop single-handedly by buying up a record-breaking 12,624 Bitcoin. Today it starts again. And I agree with Chad. I think Chad's got this spot on. I really do. And he's super sharp, super smart. And I really do agree with what he's seeing here. I'm kind of seeing the same thing. Now, maybe we're both wrong. I don't know, but I don't think so. Wall Street, BlackRock, they're buying up Bitcoin, and they keep this pace, and they're going to own the majority of it before this is over. You watch. And there'll be others. Just take a look at this. How much XRP is Grayscale currently holding? Remember, the digital large cap fund of Grayscale recently added XRP, and that means they acquired the asset. If we get in here, you can see there it is right there. It's only 1.76% at this point, but nevertheless, that amounts to 15.8 million plus shares, right? And each share represents 1.03 and the rest of the numbers there of XRP. So again, I think all of this leans into where the space and the market is going. We are going to see thousands of crypto ETFs and then all kinds of amalgamations of index ETFs for crypto, baskets of assets. You're going to see all of it. It's coming, right? But none of it's coming if we don't continue to work to stop the crypto ban. This is Elizabeth Warren. This is why we're so excited for John Deaton to be running. And this is why I tell you a great way to support the cause to help Perry Ann and the Chamber of Digital Commerce continue this fight on Capitol Hill to make sure we continue to get this crypto market opened up and the innovation really unsuppressed, right, as Gary Gensler has done. We have to stop the crypto ban. You could go to this link right here and change.org and stop the crypto ban and donate there. Or you could decide to be a little more selfish and you could buy a ticket to the Future of Digital Assets benefit dinner and have a charitable donation to the Chamber of Digital Commerce as well as a tax write-off. And you're still donating to the cause, you're helping everybody, and you will get a private dinner with Brad Garlinghouse, Christian Carlo, John Deaton himself, senatorial candidate, I don't mind telling you, Eleanor Terrett, Michael Arrington, and probably a couple more guests before it's all over. And I tell you, it is going to be a wonderful time, and what a great way to get something for yourself while supporting the industry and the lobbyists, the Chamber of Digital Commerce, for fighting on Capitol Hill for all of us. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Warren, if you remember, she's back at it again. Now, this is back in January, but she hasn't pulled back on this. The U.S. Government Accountability Office report confirms that the rogue nations are using crypto to dodge sanctions. As we know, the community notes got her, because if we just look at this, the community notes came out underneath of it, and it's not showing right now, but it also came out, the community notes, and said that actually fiat dollars are what are being used more than anything else. And I say to John Deaton, it looks like the community notes caught little Pinocchio. That's who Elizabeth Warren is. Remember, she said she was a Native American Indian too, in Pocahontas. So now I think little Pinocchio is going to cover it because she's lying about a lot more than her heritage, right? That's the danger here with her. Now, I'll tell you what, you're going to love this. Remember when we covered yesterday, Stuart Alderoty said the SEC told the judge in the Binance case that they should consider a decision from another court without disclosing that that decision was a default judgment, meaning no one showed up to defend itself, and thus the relevant legal issue was never actually litigated. That's bad faith, and we covered that yesterday. Meta Lawman, James Meta Lawman Murphy, that's the way to say it, and he's going to be on stage with the legal panel at XRP Las Vegas, and you're not going to want to miss it. He said, Stu is absolutely right. Submitting a decision to a court as supplemental authority and not flagging for the judge that is the product of an uncontested default judgment is improper. I suspect the lawyers for Binance will blast this tactic in their own letter to the judge. No question. And then there was this. Stuart Alderoty's getting real good at this Twitter thing. I can tell you that. Shout out to you, Stu. He says, I don't know much about this proxy access case argued in the Fifth Circuit Court yesterday, but when a judge says the SEC's rules are so vague and loosey-goosey that nobody knows whether they'll be at risk, she may be on to something. And there's the case. He's referring to the NCPPR versus the SEC. Well, you waited for it, and I'm going to give it to you right here today. This is really leaning into the ultimate macro reason I'm here, right, is to see the combination of this beautiful innovation and technology that exists out here integrated into the banking and financial and traditional markets. And this is one step closer to exactly that. Just in the custody case study, Metaco and DZ Bank. DZ Bank is the largest German depository bank with a volume of 300 million assets on the depository. Beginning of 2023, when they decided that we should be decided then to best work together with Metaco's Harmonize. We aim to find a solution that's best integrated in existing capital markets processes to make it as efficient as possible. 10 months after implementation, DZ Bank could go live with the custody solution based on what Metaco is offering. That's right, Ripple's recent acquisition Metaco and their platform Harmonize, right? Take a listen.
DZ Bank is quite happy, and we're a bit proud that we're one of the first banks in Germany which
There you go. And now there's maybe a copyright issue with the music in the background on that. I don't know. So we'll have to find out how YouTube treats it, but I don't think there should be an issue. But the point of this, in case this gets messed up from the video itself, is that this is the largest German depository bank with volume of 300 million assets on a depository, right? Are we seeing where this is going? Let's give them a follow in case we catch something that comes out here. This is remarkable to me. This is spelling the idea that maybe we do see, the banking sector involved in real asset tokenization like stocks, bonds, and derivatives and things of that nature by the end of this year. They're certainly there. I mean, it's some parts of the world. I mean, maybe we're not ready for it here in the States. I don't know. But, listen, this is super exciting. What something we used to say all the time here on the channel a while back is we all wanted this a long time ago, but this is not happening obviously on the timeline that we want it to. This is happening on the timeline that they need it to, and it's going to happen. And you could see that from here. That's not my opinion. That's already happening in Germany. So Germany's not going to be the only one to do it, right? So then it just comes down to when they do it, because they're going to do it on their timeline, not ours. That's the only issue I've ever had with this whole thing, right? Because I went Wenmoon a long time ago, right? But like the rest of you, I'm human. What can I say? But you know what? I'm here for it, and I'm going to take and ride this thing, and we're going to land the plane together. I can tell you that. Right here at digperspectives.com, a great way to support the channel is on the Freedom Zone. You get private access, full access to a private Telegram group, as well as great conversation and some of the smartest people I've come in contact with inside the Freedom Zone, and really great extra content that I couldn't dare talk about on the channel because of censorship and issues of that like. So make sure you join us into the Freedom Zone. Come on in. Not financial advice from me or anyone else.